This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. Hi everyone, I'm Nizzahon, and today I'm bringing you some more historic Brawl content. We're looking at Orvar, the All form, as our commander. He's pretty cool. He's a changeling, which means he has all creature types. We don't do a whole lot with that in this deck, but what we do like to do with this deck is take advantage of the fact that anytime we target one of our creatures with an instant or sorcery spell, we can make a copy of that creature, a token copy of that creature. The other part of the card also doesn't matter because he's never in our hand. If our opponent makes us discard it, you know, we can create a token or whatever. But that's not going to happen. We're just looking at the middle line here. But the good news is that middle line's pretty powerful. And the whole sort of idea behind this deck is that we want to abuse enter the battlefield abilities. So that's sort of the whole idea. We want to make copies of things and get their into the battlefield trigger to trigger again. And that's kind of what we're looking at. That's why this whole pile here to the left are all cheap things we can target our creature with. Some of them are bounce things, like that we can also target the opponent's stuff with, giving them some flexibility like Alchemist Retrieval. Some of them protect our creatures while also giving us a copy if Orvar's around, which is pretty awesome. That's what Dive Down and Essence Flux can do. Essence Flux also lets you trigger the ability again because it flickers the creature, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, this whole pile here, you know, 1 and 2 mana spells that let us bounce or target our own things for value if Orvar's in play, but most of them have other uses too. Then this whole pile here is just creatures within the battlefield abilities we can abuse. The deck has a bunch of spells in it, so something like Augur of Bolus is pretty nice. You know, it's not going to generate a game-winning advantage by making copies, but it does help us find more cards to make more copies of our other creatures. You know, and this whole pile is stuff like that. Clone Crafter gives us a random copy of one of the cards in our opponent's deck, one of the creatures in their deck. You know, Falcon Abomination gives us a zombie token. Mana War bounces things, and these we can use to bounce our own things. You have to use instants or sorceries to target your things and generate one of these tokens, but having the additional flexibility to play something like Mana War, bounce our own thing, and then replay it for the enter the battlefield trigger is good for the times when Orvar's not around. You know, Circuit Mender is one of the cooler things because if we bounce it, we get extra value because we'll get a token, and then that card leaves play, so we also draw a card. And yeah, you get the idea. We got some clones because we have lots of good cards with enter the battlefield abilities, and that's what we have going on here. This pile here is pretty small. It's other cards that enable enter the battlefield shenanigans, you know, in addition to the ones that themselves have enter the battlefield abilities. Thousand Face Shadow and Ninjutsu go well in general because we can return an unblocked creature with an enter the battlefield ability to trigger it again. Grazilax lets us choose to bounce things if they get blocked, and if our opponent doesn't block them, we get to draw a card. And then Thassa, of course, well known as a card to help you abuse into the battlefield abilities, and probably the card most people play as their commander in a deck like this other than Orvar. But I like the token angle on Orvar. It's pretty interesting. We do have a couple of little combos. Both Saiba Siphoner and Shipwreck Dowser return a spell from our graveyard to our hand. So if we have one spell, like Shell Shield, let's say, we can target our Dowser with it, and then get back Shell Shield, and then target something else, and just generate as many copies, basically, of the Dowser as we want. The copies don't have haste, so it's not like we're splinter twinning or anything like that. Well, I guess because if you're using an instant, I guess you can sort of splinter twin if you do it at the end of your opponent's turn. I haven't had it go that way in the games I've played so far, but if the Dowser's in play and you target it with Essence Flux or whatever, and then it comes back, you can just keep doing it, provided you have the spell in your graveyard, and you just keep doing it until you're out of mana. It's not infinite because you don't have to pay the mana, but you do have an army of creatures, and it's kind of a cool combo to pull off. This stuff's all just sort of stapley stuff, you know, Arcane Signet, Midnight Clock, you know, not that exciting. So, that is the deck. Let's play some games with it and see how it does. Opening hand in our first game, we're up against Corvald. Looks pretty good to me. We have things with abilities that we can rebuy, and we have a cheap way to do it. So, you know, by do it, I mean make a copy. So, you know, Corvald is one of the more, like, legit commanders around. Yeah, of course they play Thoughtseize, you know. So, it's going to be tough against a deck that's, like, you know, good. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, you know, Corvald is just hugely powerful. I mean, he was played in a sacrifice deck in, like, Historic, Pioneer, and Standard. So you can imagine that he's really good as the commander of a sacrifice deck. I don't know what they're going to hit here. Probably slip out the back, though. Yeah, that's what they go with. So they did take away our way to do a thing, which may mean I want to hold on to Salundi Vision to find such a thing. I think we will for now. Because it's pretty likely we hit another card that lets us make a copy with Salundi Vision. I mean, lets us look at 6 cards, so... Yep, there's some treasure. There's a midnight clock, which is interesting. Trying to decide if I want to play the midnight clock and get things started there, or just flash in our abomination at the end of their turn. I don't really want to mana war this, obviously enough. I think I'm just going to hold on to the abomination. They're already at 4 mana, which also means they're already getting to the point where they can play Corvald, which is not good for us. It's unfortunate they know the cards in our hand, because we might have gotten lucky and gotten to kill Kalain, like if it attacked us here. But that's not going to happen. What? Okay, that's interesting. They must not have good mana, since they had to do that to play their Elysian Caryatid. They're not going to attack. Oh my god. Okay, maybe they will. Didn't see that coming. I don't hate getting rid of Kalain. I can tell you that much. Mana War on the Caryatid seems pretty appealing right here, because we know our opponent is having mana problems. I think I'm going to Mana War the Caryatid. Although, yeah. Let's Mana War the Caryatid here. I don't really want to attack with this zombie token here, because they can just block and get some card selection, and that seems not great for us. I am going to play this now. So we do have a bounce spell now. Yeah. Well, maybe they'll get mana screwed and we can beat them. Wasn't feeling great about our chances, but... Okay. Well... I mean, I think we attack with the Mana War and the Abomination. I could tap down the Witness. That seems kind of alright, actually. Then I can also get in with this zombie here. Yeah, let's play Frost Trickster. We have Frost Lynx too, but I'm going to take the flying version here. So that's 6. This can't block. Oh, actually? Yeah, you can't block. I was like, wait a second. It doesn't say it immediately, but yeah. So, you know, they do get a free attack with this here, and they generate another one or whatever, but... Well, that's how you have a chance against Corvald, is they have mana problems. Of course, them attacking the way they did with Kalain was a mistake, not just a mana problem. Okay, well that means they have free value every turn, but we can keep flying over for damage. Yeah, they get 2 free damage here. So here, they just play Frost Lynx and swing out again. Fading Hope's interesting. If we ever get a 5th land, we can play Orvar and like hold up Fading Hope and threaten to use the ability. I mean, I could play Midnight Clock and that would set that up on a future turn, but I don't feel like giving them more time here. So I think it's better to just play Frost Lynx, tap down the Woe Strider, and then attack with all 3 of these. Still have Fading Hope up. I mean, that actually works reasonably well against something like Corvald, so They do have a free goat block, which they might take. Yeah, they will. They don't know any of the cards in our hand anymore. That's nice. I can also just Fading Hope one of my own things at the end of their turn, potentially. If I feel like the trigger's what I really need. It's not as exciting as doing it with Orvar in play, but, you know. It's a thing. Yeah, they're gonna sack their Lucky Witness to try to hit the land that they need. And they do. I don't know that card, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna take the land, so it doesn't matter. I don't know what cards this lets you draft. Oh, I guess it shows me. Lands. Okay. Well, they don't have green mana, so I'm gonna go out on a limb and think they choose the land. Yeah. They do go to 9. I don't mind that. This is interesting. So 2, 4 is it? Okay. Ah, darn, they played another creature. I was just thinking I could find a way to get in for like 8 here. And maybe I can, but... It's probably going to just be better to hold on to Fading Hope. I'm trying to decide if I want to use it to bounce Jadar here so they don't get another one of these. And then they just have these two, and I still have Depart the Realm in my hand. But it also doesn't really seem necessary for us to go through all that. So I think we'll just let things happen. Okay. Well... I think I feel fine about attacking with everything again. We'll play Orvar first, just in case we feel a need to do something. But yeah. We swing out here. Sure, they block with their Requisitioner, but I kind of doubt they block with the other things. Who knows, though? It is 8 damage. Okay. So they're taking 6. That does mean these are lethal. Wonder whether they have a sweeper or something, but I feel like... I mean, I guess if they have one, it would benefit them more than it would me. I could bounce something to my hand in response. So it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I have a feeling they just try to play Corvald here, and I don't think that's enough for us to be in trouble. Could be wrong, but... Kind of funny we never played our clock. Just felt like we had to take advantage of the problems our opponent was having, and playing the clock would not have... Oh, that's a problem. Okay. It's a problem because they can gain life now. And I don't like that. I don't know if it'll be enough, but it is going to help them. I can bounce the Blood Artist, I guess. That's a thing. If I'm not worried about them gaining life, yeah, and then just swing over for 4. That seems pretty reasonable. We'll see how the rest of their turn goes here, but... Seems like that will solve this problem. Because they can only go to 4 off of the blood. Yeah. And we have 4 in the air. Interesting. That is interesting. But they're just straight up passing. That makes me kind of not want to cast Fading Hope here. Yeah, I don't think we do. Right. So attack with our 2 flyers and see what happens. Seems okay. Yeah, I mean, if they have removal for one of our flyers, all we do is Fading Hope it, get a copy of it, and then trigger it again. I mean, it's works out for us, I think, if that's what they do here. We have 3 bounce spells, too, which we could use against them. And we might. I mean, if it wins us the game here, we'll do it that way, but we can cast all 3 of them if we really want to. Okay. So in that case, yeah, let's Fading Hope our own creature here. So we get a copy of our Trickster. See what they do now. We'll tap down. Do we want to tap down the Caryatid? Nah, probably still just the Woe Strider. Let's get to scry 1 here before we draw off of the Mastery. I mean, Champion of Wits is good and all, but like, I feel like we don't really need it here. No, I guess I don't draw the card. Or I already did. No, I don't think I did. So they go to 1 here. Do I play the clock? I think so. I can leave up Depart the Realm and Blink of an Eye for various shenanigans, so I think we do. So we still have mana up for, yeah, the bounce spells, which we can use. Like, if they're going to try to gain enough life to not die, we can bounce Blood Artist. Oh, I guess that's what they're going to do now, actually. Yeah, I don't like that. I think we live with it, though. I probably should have bounced it when I had the chance before they were going to be able to do this sort of thing. I still might have an opening here, but if I do that, I also open myself up to some bad possibilities on their turn. So I think I would want to wait until the end of their turn to do it. Ooh. We're going to have to bounce her because she'll cause some serious problems before the end of the turn. So we'll bounce. I'm glad we left our mana up. We'll actually make a copy of our Mana War and bounce her in that roundabout way. Yeah. That's the plan. Because we can't really let Ziatora do her thing at the end of the turn. All the treasure and everything. So, yeah. Let's use Depart the Realm on our own Mana War. Make a copy of our Mana War. Bounce Ziatora. Get out of here, Ziatora. Yeah, alright. We beat them. Mana problems helped, but we did get to use Orvar. It looked for a little while like we wouldn't even do any Orvar shenanigans there. But we got to in the end, at least. right? Plant guy. I think they weakened him in this, didn't they? Or did they pump him? I can't remember. He's definitely been rebalanced, but I can't remember which direction. They made it better, right? It didn't used to give the plants trample, I don't think. I do think we'll play the Glass Pool Mimic here. We already have a clone if we really want one, and a quasi-duplicate, which is kind of a clone. A quasi-clone, if you will. Alright, we'll play Clone Crafter here. See what happens. Ooh. We have a lot of non-humans. So making copies of Grumgully would be interesting. So... yeah, I mean, I think we attack here. Orvar, funnily enough, is actually a human. Let's play Grumgully. So this is going to be kind of a problem. You know, all the creatures that get made by Phylath are tough for us to deal with, but we'll see if we can do it. Okay, well, I think we play Mana War. Bounce the Dryad, attack them for 4. So, you know, I can keep bouncing stuff, but we don't really want to ever bounce Phylath, and I guess we can bounce the tokens. If we make enough copies, we can deal with all the tokens, I guess. Which feels pretty good. You only get them for basics, right? Right now, we have 1. I only have 1 basic, so I don't really need to be that alarmed at this point, I don't think. Do we want to Mirror Hall Mimic? We can also get the clock down and bounce it with Expel from Arazka. Maybe that's better, because it makes it so we have more mana in the future. Yeah. So... in this case, you know, normally it's better to bounce your own thing in this deck, but I'd like to attack this turn, so, yeah. We bounce their thing. And attack them for 7 here. So right now, I mean, we can just bounce everything. Yeah. So what do they get? 1 token? Yeah. So we use 3, 4, 5, 6. I was thinking I could play Orvar and Quasi-Duplicate. I can't quite do that. But... could play the Mimic. The Champion's actually going to draw us 3 cards because of Grumgully. That's kind of cool. So I could play the Champion and Quasi-Duplicate here. That's probably what I'm going to do. Yeah. Wow. Oh, you see a guard approach. I think we just discard both of these. So we can use, you see, a guard approach in the future anyway, like Orvar plus that on his future turn. But for now, we're just going to quasi-duplicate our Mana War. And we're going to bounce Phylath. They will get another plant, but this lets us attack hard this turn, and we can continue to deal with this problem pretty effectively, so... one plant, even if you'd play a land afterward. Well, it is a Terramorphic Expanse, so they're going to make 2 of them into 4/5s. I'd really like to draw a land so that I can play Orvar and... nice, we did discard a land, so I don't deserve it, but we did get it. So we play Orvar here. Then we play Quasi-Duplicate Jump-Started. And we target our Mana War again, which will make 2 Mana Wars. We're going to discard the Mirror Hall Mimic at this point. So we use one of those to bounce a plant. Yeah. We got there. This deck is fun. It's not really what you think of when you think of mono blue, I don't think. And I think that's what makes it fun. We can be sort of aggressive even with all of our bounce and stuff. And then, so far the 2 games we played, we were kind of aggressive early. And then we got Orvar down, and Orvar shenanigans helped us close the game out. Which is pretty sweet. Alright, Spara. Okay, I can live with this. You usually want a few more creatures than this, like in an ideal world, but I'm okay with it. We're gonna play this as a land. So, shield counters, not nearly as useful against us as against most decks, because we don't have any cards that destroy anything. So, you know, bounce is pretty good against the shield counters, because you usually pay a premium for them, although you don't really on Falco Spara, because it's a 4-mana 3/3 with flying and trample, all kinds of other abilities, but still. Hopefully we draw something else, because our Muldrifter doesn't really count here as a card to help us, like, do Orvar things. Okay, we may get to Jawari Disruption something here. That always feels good. We have Unsubstantiate already, so... Oh, yeah. Get out of here. No Arcane Signets, please. I think I'm gonna evoke our Muldrifter here. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, we still don't really have any of the creatures we need. But, you know, we'll get some. Hopefully our opponent's whole hand was dependent on getting that Signet in play. Okay, it doesn't look that way, but... Ooh. That's not great. Ooh, that is not either. Yeah, we're just drawing cards in the wrong order here. Okay. Well, we're just... So, if they play Falco Spara and I just don't have any mana up, they're going to be able to... How likely are they to play something off the top of their library? Not very likely, because I'll have to tap out for it. So I think I just play Orvar here. So that if we ever do draw something, we can get things going. I could maybe have waited until I had Dive Down up to protect him, but... So if we wait to bounce it, that's fine, I think. They shouldn't be able to generate any insane value. Okay. This doesn't affect us that much, is the good news. Getting all the enablers and none of the action. So now we're in a place where if I don't unsubstantiate Falco Spara, they're likely... Well, I guess they still have 4 mana, huh? Alright, I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna play Thassa here. I do have March up, so I can phase things or whatever. Look out. Yeah. I did keep a hand that maybe I shouldn't have, especially in a format with a free mulligan. I forget it's a free mulligan sometimes. Yep. Alright, so... We're gonna bounce Falco Spara before they have another turn with him so that they have to cast it again at least. That's pretty much all I can do, though. Everything else we have is kind of useless right now. But go ahead and bounce Falcospara here. Can't... I have a clone, a card that makes a copy, and a couple of situational cards. As soon as we draw, like, anything with an Into the Battlefield ability, I feel like we're going to be in business. But, oh my god. The Ozolith works like that? Well, I think we lose. It's weird that the Ozolith does when things leave play. That's unfortunate. That makes our whole bounce plan against Falcospara not work nearly as well. We can tap a thing, if nothing else, and we can't really do anything else. So, yeah, tapping a thing seems pretty good, actually. Alright. Get out of here. I'm not being attacked by you. Goodness. Okay. Oh, boy. Well, you know, you had to see what the deck looks like when it doesn't work the way it's supposed to, and that's kind of what you're seeing here. So, did I do that too early? I guess I should wait for them to move the counters. If I'm doing it while they're, like, between the two permanents, does that let me get rid of those tokens? Or do they just not get removed? Yeah, we don't care too much about that. I mean, other than the fact that they have a creature that is big. That part we don't like. What do you do now? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and tap Raiding here. Do I want to use Unexplained Disappearance? Yeah, kind of think I do. The Surveil is nice on top of everything else, because it can help us actually find a actual thing that we can get a bunch of Enter the Battlefield abilities off of. I do have ways to bounce non-creature permanents. We just haven't gotten them yet. We do have them, though. Oh, hello. What's our devotion right now? Boy, I mean, I'm desperate enough for, like, any creature at all, and this will draw us likely into more creatures. That I'm really considering just leaving it. We can actually get Thassa online if we clone it. Yeah, I think we kind of have to leave it. Because if what's underneath is not a creature, we're going to be really mad. So, alright. So, Oracle. Are they going to let my Oracle resolve? Devotion to 4. If we can start making sure we're drawing something good every turn, I think we'll be pretty happy. This is kind of an unimpactful trigger comparatively to, like, most of the ones we have in our deck, but, you know. It's whatever. It's better than another land or something. Ooh. Okay, well, we're not going to be getting a creature. I don't actually have to put any on top, but Invoke the Winds is so strong. Although, I can't cast it because of that. Yeah, so that matters. Sublime Epiphany, same thing. Kind of think we submit 0 here. Yeah, we submit 0. Then, yeah, we're going to play our Mimic here and copy the Oracle. We still have mana up for Dive Down, which is good. So we get this trigger again. Thassa becomes a creature, importantly. Okay, Dream Eater is what I'm talking about. I think I'd rather have Dream Eater than Mind Flayer. The Flayer doesn't let you steal, like, every time you... Well, I guess if we're making clones, we do get to steal multiple things in a turn, actually. It won't work with Thassa, but it does work with Quasi-Duplicate. Like, I can play it and potentially steal 3 things. Is Dream Eater better? I don't think so. I think just stealing our opponent's stuff is probably better. So we don't have the ability to tap any of their stuff down this time around. I'm trying to decide if it's worth an attack. With Thassa, that is. Or if I just need Thassa here to get the shields up. So yeah, if I Mind Flayer and then use Dive Down on Mind Flayer, I can steal 2 things right away, which is pretty nasty. I think we keep back the ground creatures by not attacking. If we do attack with Thassa, they can attack us on the ground pretty effectively, and I don't really want that. Well, we'll do this again, I guess. There might be something better than the Mind Flayer. So, ooh, removal? No. Nope. Mind Flayer is still the best thing. Although, Time Warp is always nice. But yeah, I think Mind Flayer is still the best bet. The Benthid's cool and all, but... So we've got Dive Down for protection, should we need such a thing. One kind of awkward thing is that I have to make a copy. So if I use Dive Down to protect one of these, I make the copy, and it's legendary. So that's not so good. I wouldn't do it. Ooh, okay. I can phase, though, which might be worth doing. It's going to be hard to find time for Quasi-Duplicate, so I might phase here. Oh, except I have to make a copy when I phase, too. Alright. Well, what do you hit? Thassa? I'm guessing Thassa. I guess that means I make a copy, and then that copy survives. That seems pretty good, I guess. Yeah, alright. So, Dive Down on Thassa. We want to keep the one that's not about to die. You have some counters and stuff. We're just going to steal whatever you put it on. Chapter 3 currently doesn't have anything to get back. Put it on your Raydane. Just put them all on Raydane. Come on. It'll be fine. Alright, so we're going to Mind Flayer here. Thank you. And at any point, we can March of Swirling Mist to make another copy. So... what do I do now? Seems kind of worth attacking with Thassa now. Got a shield counter on this? Yeah, let's attack with Thassa. They are gonna... ooh, they're gonna make our spells cost more. So our March of Swirling Mist plan isn't as good as I was thinking it was. I guess if I pay... yeah, I can't actually do it. That's brutal. So Blinking Mind Flayer doesn't do anything for us. Okay, I think they thought it would. But we were going to have to retake the Raydane is all it would do. We wouldn't keep taking... it would work if we made a copy of our Mind Flayer. It doesn't work when the Flayer leaves the battlefield and comes back. But that's okay. We'll take the win. That really didn't go well at the beginning, but they didn't maximize... you know, Thassa ended up buying us enough time just by tapping stuff that we actually managed to make it to the point in the game where we could do stuff with our deck. Okay, we're up against Corvald again. Don't know if things are going to go quite our way again, but we'll see. Pretty good hand. This can hit non-land permanents, it's worth noting. Oh no. Not our graveyard. Turn 3, Champion of Wits. Okay. Don't love that. I mean, I could bounce the token, but it doesn't really seem worth it to me. Man, Quasi-Duplicate has loved us. So let's play our Champion of Wits here. Okay. So Cemetery Illuminator's nice. We can do Duplicate from the graveyard later. I kind of want to discard the Wizard and the Duplicate here. Hold on to the Illuminator. The Illuminator will have something to exile. So I guess if I wanted to exile a thing, maybe the Illuminator's not quite as good, but I think this is still what we discard. So I don't think I block. I mean, there might be an argument for me blocking. Right, so we could bounce this Mana Rock. I don't hate that idea. I mean, I do have Cemetery Illuminator. That definitely makes me a little more interested in blocking. Because I have another creature I can add that will do silly things when we make copies of it. And this can come back from the yard late. But it's probably not worth it. Ooh, Aven Eternal lines up pretty well here, actually. We're going to play Otawara here. So I can play Aven Eternal, makes me 2 bodies. If I wanted to, I could definitely play the Mana Denial game here and flat, you know, bounce Cold Steel Heart. So they have to wait another turn to play Corvald. But I can also just bounce Corvald. So I think we probably just play Aven Eternal here. I think we actually attack, too. Yeah, let's play our Eternal. We have you see a guard approach. You know, that could come up. So here comes Corval most likely. But we'll just bounce him on our turn. I mean, they'll get value because they'll sack a thing and draw a card, but, you know, that value doesn't stand up that well if we're just bouncing it every turn. Yeah, okay. So, nice. We can actually play our Illuminator first. Question, though, is do I want to hit either of these? I guess hitting the Wizard's fine. Yeah, so let's play our Illuminator, hit the Wizard, see what's on top of our library. Disperse. Good to know. Alright, so then, yeah, we're going to Unexplained Disappearance Corval. I think we leave the Disperse. Although, I guess we already have a Blink of an Eye and you see a Guard Approach, but this is just so good against Corval that I think I just leave it. Yeah, we'll swing out. If they want to block our token or our champion, I'm fine with that. Yep. I go to 20. Ooh, okay. Nicely done. That does make things more difficult for us. A lot more difficult, really. Yeah. Obviously, we're taking one here, but we know we're drawing Disperse. That's not a huge help in a scenario like this one. Well, I guess I play Orvar. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have gone as wide as I did and held on to a thing or two. He actually can't copy himself is the good news, so I could use this to protect him. And because he says other creature, it doesn't matter. So if they tried to remove Orvar, that's an option. That's not good. So now they can sack things and get things back, so just bouncing Corval is no longer enough. Okay. Well, I don't think so. I think we're gonna stop that. We do get to kill one of these. So at least we have that going for us. They'll sack it to make food, of course. Okay, well, I guess we're 1 mana away from Champion of Wits. We can also kick Blink of an Eye. That's a thing. Yeah. Feels like we're going to finally lose this one. You know, I felt bad early in games, a couple of these games, but this time we sort of had the upper hand and got it turned around on us. So I'm pretty sure we're the ones at a disadvantage here. They're going to try to kill Orvar with the Crater Maker, I'm guessing. And they sack it, and that means that they also get back... Okay, at least they can't get anything back. I may just let Orvar die here. The only thing about that is if I don't have somebody on this board my chances of not getting destroyed by all this damage go way down. So I'm kind of considering kicking our Blink of an Eye, because that also draws me a card, to save Orvar. I mean, I could just play Orvar again, I guess, for 6. Yeah, I guess that's fine. If we draw a land, we just play our Champion of Wits. So... yeah, okay, that's... so, it looks like we're just going to play Orvar again. Barrier Breach, yeah. Well, we do have a Midnight Clock in our hands, so I guess I'm glad they cycled that. I guess they can sack Legion Warboss and get back Crater Maker? That's pretty gross. That is pretty gross. They may just have removal here, though. Yeah, they do. I think they're gonna get us. They finally get to attack with Warboss and the tokens. I guess if I play Champion of Wits, we might find our way out of this, but it does look pretty dire right now, gotta say. Cavalier of Gales is pretty nice. Alright. Let's do it. Let's brainstorm. So, I think we actually want to hold on to an island so that we can get mana up for one of those. So, we're not playing Illyrios or Midnight Clock this turn. So, yeah. I guess drawing Illyrios first is probably better. Alright. We do have a big flyer. Feels like this is going to be a long one. Oh, that's annoying. We do get to scry 2, and it shuffles into our library, so we have that. But we probably have to bounce... we don't have to do it now. I guess we wait till they go to combat. And bounce the war boss. Bounce whichever one they train, maybe, is an option, too. So we scry 2. We kind of were okay with what we were drawing, but... our library is now shuffled, so... we really need creatures, is what we need, so... pass to combat. I think so. Okay, so we're just gonna get rid of one of these tokens. You know, getting rid of the war boss is probably still better. See if they sack it in response. They don't. If getting rid of the war boss was better, I should have, before they attacked, bounced it. But, you know, it's whatever. The trouble is real. Okay. I can copy Legion War Boss. I can also cast Champion of Wits. That's probably just better. Yes, I'll draw cards equal to its power. Yeah, I don't think we want Saloon Division or one of these islands. Well, maybe this won't be a long one. They may kill us quickly. Yeah, making it so we can't get Orvar down does weaken things, but we might still be able to find our way out of this. So they get back Bedevil. Of course they do. Yeah, they're just going to aggro us out in this one. Ow. 4, 6, 8. And that'll do it. So we lose. But, you know, hard not to in the situation we were in. Their opponent just had, like, a great aggro starter. We couldn't do much about it. So, I think that's a good, you know, few games to see what this deck is about. It's very fun. Like I said, it's different in a lot of ways from what you expect from a mono blue deck, because it's like, you know, we don't play basically any counter spells. Although I can tell you I guess that shark is legal. I should have played the shark in this deck. Yeah, playing some of the creatures that can counter spells would be pretty gross with Orvar. And there is the, like, 5-mana, 5/4 shark that does that. That would have been kind of funny. But, yeah, I think you got a good idea of how the deck works. It's a lot of fun. You can do all kinds of wacky things by making tokens. And, yeah. So, that'll do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, please like it and subscribe. If you want more content, if you want more Historic Brawl content, tell me, and I'll keep it coming. So, have a good day, everybody, and I'll see you all in the next one.